As a woman in the developing world, in Pakistan's largest city of Karachi to be specific, everywhere you look, the public spaces are overcrowded and encroached upon by an overwhelming number of men. Imagine a place that could turn into whatever you wanted, a place to work, study, socialize, play, or even exhibit your work. My architecture thesis addresses these needs. More importantly, in addition to all of this, my project is meant to serve a more urgent purpose. It is intended to be an emergency second stage housing for women and their children seeking refuge from domestic abuse and social injustices. Imagine a day in your life confined within the boundaries of your home, unable to explore, learn, or socialize freely. Picture the limitations imposed on your independence and the loss of personal growth. Escaping this confinement feels like a distant dream as you are alone, scared, and confused. And even if you gather the courage to break free, the dangers outside may be just as threatening, if not more so. The greatest threat, however, is someone who is disguised as a protector, a companion, or a family member. These are the stories of countless women facing abuse in Pakistani society. My research and design concept emphasize the need to reintegrate women into society successfully. The goal was to design a safe haven that could help evoke a sense of place among its residents. I wanted the design of the second stage housing to be versatile and flexible to help make the transitional period a little easier for the women and their children. So that's where the idea of incorporating community facilities and housing into one building comes from. These buildings are meant to be hidden within the city's residential areas. You may remember a scene from the popular Netflix show Made, in which the protagonist finds herself and her daughter in a domestic violence shelter. She goes into the pretend store made exclusively for the residents of the shelter to help them regain their confidence in what is an incredibly challenging life.
The boutique isn't open to the public. It's just for our residents to come in and pick out what they like, to have that sense of self again. All right? Have fun.
Research also supports that spatial agency in design plays a crucial role in empowering these women. Gaining control over their living environment and feeling equally empowered in recreational spaces can significantly enhance their sense of agency. My design was driven by creating a self-sustaining community for empowered women. Through extensive research, I gained insights into the architectural design possibilities that support and are related to the empowerment of these women. I employed a multiple case study design to examine women's shelters in Karachi from various perspectives, identifying common themes and patterns. By the end of my thesis project, I was able to develop a basic framework to address all the results from my research through design. My evidence-based framework and design were published in a scientific journal as part of the proceedings at the UIA World Congress of Architects and helped me reach a bigger audience of designers, artists, and researchers. Let's take a closer look at my architectural drawings. The first floor consists of a secure check-in and reception, after which you'd enter into the open sky, naturally shaded with trees and elevated patches of grass. On the right, there's the cafe run by the residents of the shelter, and behind the grass is the first level of multi-purpose space that would be used for seminars, gatherings, and exhibitions. Next to this are the finance office, the manager's office, and the toilets, which are important functional parts of the shelter's layout. The staircase for residents is hidden at the very back of the building and is protected by a layer of administrative offices. If you're a resident, you would use this staircase and elevator, but if you're a female visitor or child, you'd be escorted through this elevator or staircase located at what is the only entrance of the building. On the second floor, there is another block of administrative functions and toilets. On the right, we see the second level of the multi-purpose hall. The workspace is an open concept consisting of design elements such as work pods, a library, and a flexible open-to-the-sky space with gardens. The light tunnels allow for the light to enter the building safely and securely without adding openings that look to the outside. This level also consists of the first level of the daycare, where women who are residents and women from the surrounding neighborhood can leave their children. The third floor has an informal classroom where women can receive any kind of vocational training they like, and opposite to that is another space that can be used as an office by the residents or the female visiting members to work from. These spaces are connected by the bridge. The fourth, fifth, and sixth floors are restricted only to the staff and residents, as these are the living units that can accommodate up to 50 women accompanied by their children and some staff members. The 3 units are designed to feel like traditional Pakistani homes instead of individual apartments to help build a sense of community amongst the residents. These homes have bedrooms with attached bathrooms, kitchens, patios, and balconies. The first level of the living units consists of fertile gardens to be accessed for whatever it is that the residents enjoy doing, which could be planting vegetables or fruit, or they could be spaces for the women and children to play and decompress. The layout of each floor is centered around the needs of these women through evidence-based research, and all the areas have been designed to maximize community building and access to important resources. The section shows how all the spaces interact together, as well as how the light tunnels allow for the sunlight to enter. The building is surrounded by a thick wall that doesn't have any openings to maximize safety. All the pleasant views have been internalized and help women socialize as they would normally do in their neighborhoods. Allowing access to other women and children from the surrounding neighborhood can help destigmatize asking for help and going to a DV shelter, and also help the residents have access to the outside world. If you're interested in looking at my project in depth, I'd implore you to read my research paper and visit my website, where I've narrativized the research and design by turning it into a graphic novel. We need to turn our focus to empathy in design. After all, it is humans that we're designing for. As architects, we must learn to live in the gray and understand nuance. If this project has taught me anything, it's that the more specific your design approach is, the more universal your design will be.